Good evening, and happy Tuesday. Tell them hey.
Hey.
Stand up, Lauren. Hey. So we will wait a few minutes before we get started with Travel Talk Tuesday. We'll get started when we have a few viewers. I have my beautiful nieces here with me, Lauren and Carter. And again, we'll get started in a few minutes. We do apologize for delay, but we had a little technical difficulty going on. But nevertheless, we are here. Let's see. All right, we do have a few viewers. Good evening, everyone. Thank you guys again for tuning in to Travel Talk Tuesday. Of course, I'm yours truly, Shantae Harrison, President and CEO of Harrison's Travels. I have my beautiful nieces, Lauren and Carter, with me tonight. And let me add their names. They will be discussing their most recent travel experience. They traveled with us to Jamaica back in April. It was our annual spring break trip, and I wanted them to share their honest opinions about their travel experience with us. So that is why we are here tuned in tonight, because they are probably two of my biggest critics and biggest supporters. So I wanted to hear what they thought about traveling with Harrison's Travels. Girls, Trina said, hey.
Hey.
All right, first things first. How many times have you both traveled? I'll let Lauren start first and then Carter. Lauren, how many times have you traveled internationally? Five. Okay, where did you travel and what airports did you fly into? Do you remember those airports?
So the first
Come closer.
The first time we traveled to Mexico, and we started off at Columbia Airport. And the second time, when I went to Jamaica, we started off at Charlotte Airport. And
that was a nonstop flight? You like that better? Carter, what about you? How many times have you flown total?
6.
And what was your flight experience like? Where did you fly from? Where did you fly to?
I flew from Charlotte, and I went to Dominican, Mexico, and Jamaica.
Okay. All right. So what did you think? What did you guys think about the overall flight experience? For those, we have a lot of clients and potential clients and viewers who have never traveled on by airplane before. So tell them what you think about flying overall. How was your flying experience?
I think that it was pretty much good. I mean, the airports, they were very packed and people were scattering around to get their suitcases, but I think flying is better than driving. It was good. Like she said, it's a bunch of people in the airport, especially in Jamaica, and it was hot, and it's better than driving because driving takes a long time. So I like flying better than driving.
Okay, so now that you both have traveled 2 years back to back during the pandemic, last year we traveled to Cancun, this year we traveled to Jamaica. What did you guys think about, how did you feel about traveling with mask on, especially during the pandemic?
It was good, but it was like kind of hot with them on, and you were kind of like trying to go around and you were sweating, and yeah, but the mask keeps you safe a little bit still, so I prefer to wear it. I think that keeping our mask on is better because it's definitely a lot of people that scatter around the airport. It's like probably over than 1,000 people in the airport, and it's good to keep your mask on, but it can get hot when you like walking so far and stuff with your mask on. But I think having your mask on is better than without it. And I did have to pull mine down a little bit because it was hot, especially in the Jamaica airport.
All right, thank you guys for that. So Carter, I think you've traveled once without the mask, or both times did you go to the Dominican Republic? Both times did you have the mask on? You've flown internationally with the mask and without it. Um, how would you say your travel experience differ? How are they different? Are you ready for the pandemic to be over so you can go back to not wearing masks, or are you okay with continuing to wear your mask?
Well, I mean, I like to travel continuously to places. So I guess having a mask on, that's better than us with have a mask on with the pandemic. But I'm ready for the pandemic to definitely be over so that when we walk around in the airport, it won't get hot when we walk around. That's what that strip makes the air us everybody getting luggage and stuff struggle.
Okay. All right. So that is the airport experience. Now let's move on to the fun stuff. So we stayed at the Grand Palladium Jamaica Resort this year. And you guys were very, very vocal about your experience in Mexico. And I know you were also vocal about your experience in Jamaica. So I want each of you to talk about your experience at the Grand Palladium Jamaica Resort. Overall, what did you think about the resort?
I think the Grand Palladium Resort, I would have to say that it was very I liked it and I liked the water and I liked the restaurants. I would have to say I would go there again, but some of it was iffy.
And see, that's what I want you to be honest, because we do have a lot of people traveling to that resort, and that's one of the reasons. Like I've prepared them for the experience, because traveling during the pandemic or post pandemic, the resorts are different. So it's okay for you to be honest. I want you both to be honest. Talk to us about your true experience at Grand Palladium. What were some of the things you did not like about the resort?
Um, I didn't like the rooms. They were okay, but they were kind of like they weren't as good as Mexico's. In the Mexico room, it was like shiny and nice. Their floors was like dull or like kind of
kind of outdated.
yes.
Lauren, what did you think about the resort?
I like the pools. I like the water. I like everything. It was big, but the only problem I had was the
Come
rain.
closer.
The only problem I had was like the rain when I went to go to the pool, and the rooms they weren't as modern as the other side. Like one side was pretty, then the other side was just it wasn't like as modern as the other side. And like the rooms in Mexico, they weren't like modern, but they were better than the ones in Jamaica. Both of the floors, like Mexico floors, was a little shinier than Jamaica floors, but like we had to come with towels in Mexico and all, but in Jamaica we had to wait all night for towels.
You had to wait all night for towels. So I guess to sum it up, you would say the amenities at the resort in Jamaica was definitely different from the amenities and service at the resort in Mexico. And just so you guys know, the resort we stayed at in Mexico, it was Moon Palace. So Moon Palace is definitely on a different scale than the Grand Palladium Resort. Um, these girls shared with me during the time of our trip. They shared their experience. They shared their disappointment in certain features at the Grand Palladium Resort. And because of their honesty, I was able to meet with the resort managers while we were there, to bring the issues that they had with the resort to management's attention, because you guys know one of the things I strive for is creating amazing experiences for my clients, and if my clients are not happy, I'm not happy. Oh, Carter, your mom said you left glasses. What glasses did you left your eyeglasses in Jamaica? Wow.
Oh, I left classes at home.
Oh, really, Carter? I mean, really, Joyce, did you really have to call her out like that? But yeah, like I was saying, one of the things I like to do is create experiences that my clients can talk about for a long time. And if those experiences just so happen to be bad, it's my job to make sure that they are satisfied. And if my clients are not getting the satisfaction that they deserve, then I have to address those issues with management. And that's something I don't like to do. So that's why I wanted to hop on tonight so they can give honest feedback. I don't want people to think that I'm just sending them to destinations and resorts just because. I honestly, take into consideration the overall aspect of traveling. Every component of travel, I take it into consideration. If the resorts no longer meet my satisfaction, then I don't offer those resorts. And that's something that I wanted to hop on tonight to share with you. There are two sides of the Grand Palladium resorts. There's the Lady Hamilton side and the Jamaica side. The Jamaica side is where these ladies stayed with their families, and I think that's where a lot of the issues stem from. The Jamaica side of the Grand Palladium Resort is definitely the older side, but I can proudly say that they are in the process of renovating those resorts. So hopefully, when I send clients there in the future, I know the renovations are supposed to be complete by November 30th of this year. So we have to take a trip back after November 30th so you guys can come back and share your experience after the renovations, because they are in the process of renovating. My last question for you guys is, overall, what do you think about traveling with your auntie? Be honest. Tell me what you guys think about traveling with me.
I think it's good, but like if we when we traveling and it gets like kind of very hectic and we all like sick of each other and we get like very mad because like it's hot and we walk around the airport and we start just yelling at each other or get fussy. But overall, it's very good.
So, okay, we had a situation in the Jamaica airport where I think we arrived at the airport, I think like 2.5 hours before departure. And normally, before we move on, Delphine is asking, what was your favorite restaurants at the Grand Palladium?
Sports bar. Well, yeah, sports bar, but when for dinner, I like the Negro.
Okay.
They had all types of different foods that you could pick from.
The Negril restaurant is the buffet restaurant. That's the one you like, and you both like the sports bar. Why do you like the sports bar?
It got ice cream. I like the sports bar because it got ice cream and it had good hot dogs, and that was the best hot dogs. I would say that's something that I would eat every day.
Well, I think you guys did eat at the sports bar every day, before and after dinner, right?
Yes, and we could go in there wet. But in the other restaurants, we couldn't go in there too wet because, or we couldn't go in there with bathing suits on or nothing. But we couldn't go in there with sports bar. And I like traveling with her because it's like fun. She take us on lots of fun trips. And like Carter said, it be hot and we all just get mad. We don't talk or nothing. So when we get to a resort, the kids always want to get in the water. So when we was in Jamaica, Auntie Joyce took us to the water and that was fun. That started off our day without the madness because we was hot.
Something else we forgot to talk about was the experience when we did the day trip to was it Margaritaville? We took a tour to Margaritaville. What did you guys think about Margaritaville?
I liked it, but it had like a lot of shells and sticks, and I also liked it because it had like a trampoline out there, and it had like fun stuff. It had a banana boat and all. I liked it because I kind of liked it. I had fun. It had good,
camera.
Oh, they had good food. They had a lot of stuff, and they had this trampoline in the middle of the water. Well, it wasn't too far. It was in the water, and I really don't like the beach like that, but that was the best time I ever had at the beach. And I was mad when I had to get back on that bus and we was full of sand and stuff. And I was frustrated because my mama phone went out and she had to use mine. That was another frustrating part. But other than that, I liked it. And then people was dancing. When we saw this boat, it was But
it was the party boat that most people take to Margaritaville. It's usually called a catamaran party cruise. Some people take them from different locations to Margaritaville. So that's what you guys are talking about. We didn't get a chance to do the catamaran party cruise while you were there, but I do it with a lot of my groups, and it's usually a fun experience. But overall, you guys had fun at Margaritaville, right? So, for those of you who will be traveling to Jamaica soon, this is something that I stress all the time. Make sure that you guys arrive at the airport with enough time because things happen. There may be a situation that comes up very similar to what happened when we were coming back, when we arrived at the airport, or although we were there 2.5 hours early, the system, the airline system went down, which caused a huge backlog in the resort. We literally only had enough time. By the time we got through and checked in, we only had enough time to actually board the plane. And we were at the airport 2.5 hours prior to. So this is why I stress the importance of getting to the airport early. This time, I feel like we should have gotten there 3.5 hours early because of the size of the group. I think it was 30 of us checking in at the same time. So that created a lot of frustration at the airport. If you're traveling with one or two people, then you may can swing it with, checking in 2.5 hours before. But if you're traveling with more than, I say, 4 people, then you definitely need to consider getting to the airport at least 3 hours ahead of time. I'm checking to see if there are any other questions for us. I don't see any more questions in the chat box. However, you guys know we are in the planning. We are in the process of booking our 2023 spring break trip. This year, we are going back to the Dominican Republic. The dates are April 3rd through the 7th. If you guys would like to join us, I'll post the link in the chat box, and you guys please feel free to browse the room categories and all of the information you need to know in order to book this experience with us. Do y'all have any closing remarks?
All I say is when you go to Jamaica, pick the right side of the resort. And it's fun, but like it's very hot. Y'all should have saw my face. It was broken out. I was dehydrated. Jamaica can do something to you if you have sensitive skin.
So sunscreen did not work for you. I'm assuming sunscreen did not work for you.
Oh.
But it's because you guys were in the pool literally all day long for hours at a time.
Also, apply sunscreen throughout you get in and out of the pool because you will have if you don't, you will have your face will be messed up. I had patches of skin coming off. It was just. And I'm still trying to get my color back.
So overall, you guys are always, whenever I share places that I'm traveling to, you guys are always excited about the places I travel to. What do you guys think about some of the places that I've been to recently? For instance, I was just in South Africa less than 2 weeks ago. So what do you guys think about that? Do y'all think that's a destination you might want to travel to in the future? Or what are some other destinations that you guys think you want to travel to?
I don't think I would like to travel to South Africa because it's a 10-hour flight.
No, it's longer than 10.
Well, longer than 10 hours, and I cannot sit down in the chair for that long without having to try to get up and do something. First, like we're used to the regular time in South Carolina and America like that, and that time is different. Way ahead of time. And it's like when we were up, they was 2:00 in the morning. It was just, and I wouldn't be able to go to bed 2:00 in the morning at that time because I'd be used to the regular time, so I wouldn't get no sleep. I would travel to South Africa because I would want to see like the animals, but including the flight, I would not do the flight because I can't. But
you have to. That's the only way you'll be able to go.
But I would like to travel to Houston, Texas. Yes.
Okay.
And I would like to go to maybe like not Colorado. I want to go somewhere that's not far away, but somewhere like I enjoy, like another place like Jamaica. Jamaica, they was on the wrong side of the road, and I was scared. That man was gonna wreck us.
I'm sure he's a licensed driver, and that's just how they drive. They were not going to wreck you. Okay, so we have come to the end of our discussion. I just wanted to hop on so these young ladies could share their open and honest opinions about their travels to Jamaica, especially while traveling during the pandemic or post-pandemic is what they're saying now. But technically, we still have to get tested. So and coming back into the United States. So I'm gonna say it's still pandemic. Are there any other closing remarks you guys want to share or anything else you want to say? Nope. Okay. All right. Until next time, this is the end of Travel Talk Tuesday. If there are any other questions, please feel free to drop your question in the chat box and we will answer those questions. We'll stay on for another minute or so. And then if there are no other questions, then we will be disconnecting. Any other questions? Khadijah said, bye, girls.
Bye. Mama.
Yes, your mom.
Oh.
See? And Carter, your mom said you're squinting now. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. You have a wonderful evening.